Sweet hair, right?
I knew it was the first thing you'd fucking say. Hi, everybody. You can see us now. Welcome to episode...
First and last time.
The first and probably only time I'm going to get him to do this. This is, of course, episode 52 of the SoCo Show. We were very, very excited to be bringing it to you as a video this time, which is harder than it looks, internet. So
yeah, we've been setting up for about 2 hours.
So however this looks, don't care. Don't comment. Don't at me. And especially don't at the editor. He doesn't want to fucking hear it. Episode 52, like we said, it's our 1-year anniversary, which is why we're doing this via video. We are very excited. I am, of course, Raisin Balls.
Raisin Balls.
And sitting very, very close to me today is...
Easily the closest we've ever sit.
Is Seth Ott. And he's rocking a new hairdo today.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
He grew it out for the show. I wanted to make sure everybody saw his new do, which... I think it looks good. Let us know what you think. Of course, hit him up on Twitter at Seth O. Otter at the show page at SoCo Show Pod on Twitter. Let us know if it's a 10 or an 11 in terms of sexiness. So we want to hear that. We got a packed show today. A lot of stuff to talk about. We're gonna hit all of our old favorites. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I wish I could hit my old favorite.
Is that me?
Yeah, you're not my favorite though.
You want to hit this? Ooh.
Gross.
Lots of fun stuff, but the obvious thing that we got to talk about a little bit is it's been a year now.
1 year
since we've been doing the show. About a year ago, we decided that people needed to hear the things that we wanted to say. Seems kind of silly now, but
mostly it's farts and poop and
it's a lot of farts.
Movies.
I realized when I was talking to the editor last week about how much just gross, stupid teenage humor our shit is, and I guess whatever. If it's on brand, then it can be in the show.
Yeah.
We've come a long way since episode 1, and I wanted to talk briefly about that because a lot of changes have gone on in the show over the time. When we first started, we recorded it downstairs in my basement on one microphone, sitting across from each other on a couch. So things have changed quite a bit.
Oh, don't lie to him. We were on the same couch.
Okay, we were on the same
holding
couch,
hands,
like lovers do. And it's been a long journey to where we are now. Not that we've gotten any better at it, but it's been easier for us. So whether or not it's easier for you to listen to, I guess is kind of your problem. But what we did want to do is take just a quick listen at the very first episode that we did down in the basement.
Which I'm just looking at the computer, and the numbers of people who listen to them it was actually pretty good, and it's gone down.
People were excited that it was something new, and then they realized that it was something that they didn't care to listen to, which is fine. Just like the pilot of any good show, we defined our cult audience, which is all the people that are about to waste 2 hours of their day watching us on YouTube.
Drink our Kool-Aid. Drink
our Kool-Aid, people. If you aren't watching on YouTube, of course this is the video podcast, but it's going out audio only everywhere you can expect. But if you have time, pop over to YouTube. I'm hopefully planning to do something with this area of the screen. So maybe I'll put something entertaining there, and I don't know. We'll see. But let's have a listen at the very first episode of the show.
The whole episode.
The whole thing.
I was fucking jamming during this.
You were jamming. And the guitar.
Hello and welcome to the first edition of the SoCo Show.
So fast.
I'm Seth.
And I am Cody. I'm the Co. And we're here to bring you
the Co.
In the Co. I'm not the Co anymore. But this being the first episode. Okay, that's about as much as I can take of that. Holy shit. For those who don't know, the way we used to do all of our sounders was by creating them with instruments we had around the house.
Instruments?
Kind of.
One instrument.
We have a guitar and keyboard.
Oh, I guess keyboard, yeah.
Keyboard. Seth always liked to buzz around on the keyboard. And
yeah, did you hear those sweet jams?
It was good. And of course the rock band drums for the...
And actually our current theme song still has the keyboard in it.
It does still have the keyboard in it. So we went with random bullshit sound, which we thought that the show was going to be different sounders every time, which is a stupid idea. And
we even got a message on Twitter. Someone was like, "Hey, do you need sounds for your podcast?"
They listen to episode 1 and they're like, y'all need help. Please let me help you. No, it's good. People, I don't know if people cared about the sounds. Actually, I got a couple complaints about the sounders early.
Who?
My brother.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Kyle.
Fuck you, Kyle.
He, an early adopter and frequent listener of the show, always has good, let's say, constructive criticism for the show. So we definitely appreciate that. That was episode 1. We're now on episode 52, and a lot has changed.
Not much has changed.
Well, a lot has. We have new segments.
Yeah.
We're going to talk, of course, to either Gary Busey or the Iron Sheik in just a bit.
I thought it was both.
Well, that's was going to be a surprise.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, God damn it.
No surprises.
I write an itinerary and I give it to you.
Yeah, but
We have not looked
you
at
just
it.
put Sheik Tweet / Gary Busey.
Obviously that's an ampersand. Everyone look at it. It's an ampersand. That's what I'm telling you here.
But even so, if it would have been the ampersand, I would have thought, oh, we're doing both.
At any rate, we're gonna hear. We're gonna hear. Apparently, Seth doesn't care about surprises, so we're gonna hear from the Iron Sheik and Gary.
There's still
Busey
plenty of surprises.
in just a bit. We're gonna play a couple of games. A couple. America has been swept by our games, and we're going to bring back some favorites, so look forward to that. We're going to talk to some old friends that have been a part of the show over time, and of course we're going to give you the latest news in all the places that you've come to expect it, and then we're going to wrap up the show with some fond memories from the year that has been. So let's jump into the show, and we're going to start like we always do with a Sheik tweet.
I call you a punk.
What you got for us, buddy?
Iron Sheik.
He's been vocal this week.
Yeah, a little bit. So
So Seth just pulled up his gallery because he screen caps all of the Iron Sheik tweets, and the picture that popped up was this one. Dude, we can put it.
Oh, yeah.
We'll put it up here. Is that okay?
I'm gonna have to send it to you now. You already have it.
Is this picture right here? And it's, well, if you listened last week, you know that was from Ruth Bader Ginsburg costume, but that's an instant classic. So, what do you got from the Sheik?
All right, so Iron Sheik, so basically there's an account called OMG Facts that gives random facts about things.
OMG.
And this exactly, and this account said before becoming president, Abraham Lincoln was a champion wrestler, and so the Iron Sheik, of course, had to respond. He lucky I didn't break his fucking neck, rip off his jabroni beard. And then someone posted a picture of him doing his signature move to an imposed Abraham Lincoln head.
Oh, that's a camel clutch.
Yeah, it's
he's
a
doing the
camel
camel clutch to Abe Lincoln. We'll put that up here so you guys can see. I love this already. There's going to be all sorts of pictures. No, we don't need it. All sorts of pictures in this fucking area. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So there you go. Iron Sheik versus Abe Lincoln. Something you never thought you'd see this week on Sheik Tweets.
I call you a punk.
Well, not to be outdone, our good friend and rival to, probably unknowing rival
they hate
to
each
the
other.
Iron Sheik, is Gary Busey. And, of course, not to be outdone, he's got something to say this week as well.
A symphony of farting trombones.
I haven't heard that one in a minute.
All right, I got to get into character.
Yeah,
I already kind of got the hair.
Give me some Gary Busey.
If I could let down this bun, I could look like Gary Busey.
He's wearing a bun, people.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know. Yeah, that's what America wanted. Give us some Gary Busey.
You know the most dangerous thing in water? A shark fart!
A shark fart?
Yeah,
Gary Busey's obsessed with farts.
he loves farts.
I'm learning that very quickly.
Yeah.
So, Gary Busey... What? Watch out for shark farts, I guess?
You know the most dangerous thing in the water? Shark farts.
Watch out for shark farts. Don't go in the water, folks. There's a lot of shark farts out there.
A symphony of farting trombones.
We gotta pay that editor more.
No, he's already getting 4 years, $154 million contract.
I'm thinking he probably should hold out for a little bit
He
more.
already signed.
He's doing the Lord's work in post on these, especially when it comes to the Sounders.
Do I kind of look like... I'm seeing myself in the camera. I feel like I kind of look like an old Princess Leia with the buns. Because, like, the...
What? No, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, because
I do. I'm pretty.
I'm very attracted to Princess Leia, and I'm not going to tell you that you look like her. Cause
I don't know. Your boner's off
sitting
camera.
way too close to me.
Your boner's off camera.
Your leg hair rubbing against mine is already turning me on, so we need to move on. What are we going to do next?
Leg hair.
Let's play some games.
For a whole year, I concentrated equally on two things: fucking and
Cock-flavored lollipop.
Yeah, sex.
That's a good one.
Don't mouth that one.
That's what gets you 4 years, 150 million or 130 million dollars. That's why the editor is so important to us. I'm ready to play some fucking games, dude.
All right.
What am I?
Don't be sneaking on my phone here.
So the game here is Rip Torn or Dirty Porn. For those who may be watching us for the first time, weird, but also
yeah, how'd you stumble upon this?
But
with one of our creative tags.
Rip Torn or Dirty Porn is the game where Seth is going to tell me a name, and it's either the name of a character who was played by Rip Torn in a movie, the actor, this guy, and if it's not a Rip Torn character, then it is a porn actor or character. So it's either a Rip Torn character or someone from porno. So what do you got for us this week?
Porno?
Wait, you don't call it porno?
I haven't heard anyone call it porno since the 70s.
Okay, well, I guess I'm a 70s person.
All right, Rip Torn or Dirty Porn?
Torn or Dirty, give it to me. Let's go.
I'm not going to give it to you when it's called Rip Torn or Dirty Porn.
What's the question?
Well, it's not a question. It's a person.
Oh my god.
/ actor / character. Dr. Warren Shutt.
Spell shut.
No.
What do you mean no?
No. I don't want to give it away.
Dr. Warren Shutt.
Shut.
Dr. Warren Shutt.
Shut.
Dr. Warren Shutt.
Shut.
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 Your mouth.
I'm gonna say that Dr. Warren Shutt. Ooh, this is why the spelling is important.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say that's Rip Torn.
Rip Torn. Drum roll, please. Louder. Dr. Warren Shutt is a 1994 TV series character from Chicago Hope, played by Rip Torn.
Yeah! We need a sounder. I'm going to talk to the editor. We need a sounder for when I win games. Because I win Rip Torn or Dirty Porn a lot.
You do. Which, like...
Warren Shutt. It's like I said, I watch a lot of Rip Torn. He's one of my favorite actors. I watch him every night before I go to bed.
You know all about Rip Torn or Dirty Porn, which means you like porn or Rip Torn movies, but you're really bad at new release rectal exam.
Well, we're going to get to that in just a second, but I don't want to move on without reminding everybody that I just fucking won the game. And as part of my prize package, you're going to give me $20.
Nope.
So, of course, this has been Rip Torn or Dirty Porn.
for a whole year, I concentrated equally on two things: fucking and
Cock-flavored lollipop.
Yeah, sex.
Well, that was fun. I enjoy winning as much as the next guy, but let's play another game. This is one I have yet to win. I've not won this game yet. And it's going to be a kind of a slight twist on an old favorite. This is going to be the new release rectal exam. My mom's going to be so proud of me.
My baby's an internet. What is this?
So the game is the new release rectal exam.
Yep.
But
this is kind of like a checkup.
A twist on it. Yeah. Just more of a prostate checkup.
Yeah.
So tell them what we got this time.
All right.
So traditionally, the game is played where we look forward a month. So whatever is coming out the next month, I need to be familiar with those movies. Mm-hmm. Seth gives me an actor, a director, and the release date for 3 movies come out in a given month. And I need to know enough about the upcoming new releases to answer them. But this time on the special anniversary show, we're doing a little bit differently.
Yeah, we're going back an entire year to last July when we started up the podcast. Movies we probably talked about. Mm-hmm. Movies we've definitely seen. We've seen all these movies.
We saw every movie that month.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, this is a clue. You've seen all these movies.
Okay, I've seen them all. So we're looking back.
Yep.
At July of 2017. Great month.
Yep.
Great month.
My hair wasn't gray yet.
It wasn't gray. I'll give you that.
It was great.
It was gray tea. So what do we got this week?
All right. Don't look. What would you like first?
First, I'll take
So it's director, actor, actress, or release date.
an actor first.
Actor?
Actor or actress.
John Boyega. First build. We saw this.
John Boyega, July of 2017.
And you can have a hint anytime.
I'm not going to use it for this one because I'm pretty sure that the movie's Detroit.
That's correct.
Ah, yeah.
Ding,
One for
ding,
one.
ding. All right.
All right, next, I'll take a director.
John Watts.
John Watts. John Watts. John Watts. John Watts directed Spider-Man: Homecoming.
He did.
Nah.
Were you playing? Were you
You think
cheesing?
I don't know who directed all the Spider-Man movies?
Okay.
Look what I'm fucking wearing.
I was gonna say, were you trying to cheese it up? And then finally, release date.
See, this is gonna be the hard one because I know all the movies. I don't know when they came out. So try me. What date?
July 21st. You have one hint remaining.
Okay, so July 21st. I will take the hint.
So the hint for this one is whether it's a sequel or the first movie in the if it's in a franchise or whatever. It's the first movie.
Okay.
It's a standalone.
So this is a standalone movie that came out. What was the date?
July 21st.
July 21st of last year. Okay, so obviously it wasn't Spider-Man. Spider-Man came out early that month.
That came out July 7th.
Came out July 7th. The following week we went to something, but I don't remember what that was. July 21st? Mm-hmm. That's the date you're giving me?
Yes.
I have a guess. It's an educated guess.
We didn't even say what the stakes are for this. This is just for fun.
Should we say the stakes now? So we talked about stakes before it,
Yeah.
and we should have talked about it before we played the game.
New York Strip.
So we're going to pause here. We talked about the stakes that if I win, will be able to choose a nickname for you, right?
Mm-hmm. For just the remainder of the month. So a couple more weeks.
I would like to call an audible on that.
Okay.
I think that if I get this one, and just so you know, I'm pretty sure I'm about to, that you should watch The Matrix
No, that's...
and review it for the show.
Nope, that
What?
was a bigger bet. That was for the Oscars. That
That's
was a
not
whole big
bigger
thing.
Bet. Are
Yeah,
you
it
kidding
is.
me? You just have to watch The Matrix. That's it.
Nope.
You're a pussy. Well, what happens if I lose?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I didn't really have anything in mind.
Well, you've just been counting on me winning, and that is probably the wise thing to do because after I guess, you can't come up with some punishment. There's
Okay.
just no punishment if I lose.
That's fine.
It. All right, then.
I'm doing this as the bigger man.
Well, I think that the movie that came out last year on July 21st was War for the Planet of the Apes. Damn it! Oh, what was it?
Valerian.
Fuck Valerian. Oh my god, I said War of the Planet of the Apes and you told me it was a standalone. Oh, I'm so stupid. I do remember going to Valerian.
Yeah.
Dunkirk was that same weekend too, so you were probably pulling that bullshit where it's going to be both answers.
No,
yeah, I know you cheated. It's okay. You just admit, like you got to cheat to win. Sometimes I understand that. So okay, fine. I lose this week's edition of the new release, old release, rectal exam. Oh, I hate you so much. Okay, well, that disgusting poop-based game is over, and we have to talk
Which
about
you
Audible.
cannot win.
I can't win the game because you cheated it. That's
I
what
do
I'm saying.
not
There's too
cheat.
many options. I need to come up with a new strategy, is what I need to do. We need to talk about Audible. Audible is probably going to stop sponsoring us if we keep putting that fart noise in our podcast. audibletrial.com/SoCo. There's a link. You're also going to see one in the description box down below or wherever it is you find it, depending on the app. Again, that's audibletrial.com/SoCo. If you don't know, then what you're going to get when you go there is 30 days of Audible plus your first audiobook for free. And, we've been talking all year about some of our favorites. Ready Player One, has, I think, been the most consistent one. Seth listens to the Orphan X series. You have Tiffany Haddish's book. I just picked up Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. I haven't listened to it yet, but I've heard really good things about it, so I am interested to start that one up. So there's millions and millions of books out there, folks. If you're not currently listening to audiobooks, give it a try. It's just a fun thing to do, especially in the car. And if you're going to listen to audiobooks, the number one way to do it is on Audible. So get out there, audibletrial.com/SoCo. That's 30 days and your first book for free. Free indeed. Well, we're going to jump into the show, but I hesitate to do this because you never know what this guy's going to say. But we received a message today.
Ding dong.
We received a message from a friend of the show, and we're going to listen to that.
Sports with Lou Holtz.
So Lou Holtz, of course, good friend of the podcast. He is an ESPN college football correspondent and former football coach, as you may know. And we're really good friends with him. So he pops into the show from time to time, and
even though you never met him,
I've never met him, but he has given us a lot of good bits for the show. Talking, of course, about like March Madness and the Super Bowl and those things. It seems like every time he's here, I've like gotten up to go to the bathroom or something. So I still have not seen Lou, and he called us earlier and left us this nice message. So I still have not gotten to see him. So maybe you're a better friend of him than I am. But here's the message that Lou left for us today.
Hey, cocksuckers. It's your old acquaintance, Lou, here.
Of course, Lou.
I was sprawling around Buckingham's palace when I realized that you two sit for brains were coming up on 1 year of your stupid-ass podcast. You imbeciles are probably thinking, why is Lou being so hostile? Shouldn't he be happy for us?
Yeah.
Well, I would be a little chipper if you had invited this superstar to be a proper guest. Instead, I'm shoved into the closet and only allowed to show up when you talk about sports.
He's kind of right about that.
I bring more ratings than all of your guests combined. I mean, honestly, you set aside 30 minutes on an episode to talk to Mike V. Well, I'm finished with this lackluster show, and to celebrate my last appearance, I'm going to sing you one of Lou's favorite tunes.
Oh, God. Is it Tayo Cruz again?
I hope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lou! This is your celebration. Yeah, Lou! This is your celebration.
I do like this song.
He missed a beat there.
Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate.
What a sultry voice.
He doesn't have, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a sultry voice.
On right here.
Here.
A celebration to last throughout the years.
Yes.
So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's Lou Holtz singing Celebration.
Celebrate.
Celibate.
Celibate.
Lou Holtz. And I think we kind of skimmed over it, but was he threatening that he's not going to come back on the show?
I think so.
Is that what
He's pissed.
This is his
He wants
last
to be
appearance?
a full guest, which I would be open to the idea of him just replacing you.
Well, I mean, maybe sometime. Maybe sometime I'm sick.
The Solu show?
It'd just be the Lou Holtz show if Lou Holtz was going to be on.
Yeah,
Are you
that's
kidding me?
true.
He's a superstar.
That's what he said. He's a superstar.
He's one of the best of all times. And
Of what?
he's just a sensational commentator. He's just someone that is very special and deserves to be treated as such. And we haven't been doing that. So Lou doesn't want to come on the show. I think I need to visit Lou. I need to talk to Lou. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find Lou and talk to him, and we'll get this situation all sorted out with our good pal Lou Holtz. So
right.
No need to worry, folks. I'm telling you, this will not be the last time you hear from Lou Holtz. But we are very touched. Thank you, Lou, for your kind words. Were kind-ish words. I guess he acknowledged that it's a milestone. Even though he's being kind of a dickhead about it.
Well, he knew that this would be probably the 46th most listened to episode, so he had to be on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Lou brings us the ratings that he's talking about, then I guess we owe him a big thank you. So
That's true.
That is Lou Holtz, and we've been jam-packed with shenanigans today. So let's get back to the thing that has not yet made us famous, and that, of course, is the news. We're going to start today with video games.
Video games!
Whoa! This week, video games are brought to you by our Pop-Tart of the Week. That is Frosted A&W Root Beer.
Crazy good.
So not a lot of video game news this week, but fans of the show will know that Seth only ever plays 2 games. One of them is Batman the Telltale series, and one of them is God of War. And it wouldn't be an anniversary show if we didn't talk about those. So
True.
It sounds like you've maybe finished both of those, and you're going to tell us a little bit about them.
Finally.
Hopefully this is the last time we have to hear about God of War and Batman, guys.
Well,
Fingers crossed.
No, not at all. So, yeah. God of War. Finished that. Bought it in... When did that come out? May? April?
It's been 2 years, I think.
April. Been talking about it since probably 2 years ago. But yeah, finally finished it. Finished the main story, and definitely enjoyed my time with it. For anyone who has a PlayStation, don't want to spoil anything yet. So, but definitely leaves it open for some extra new games. It sounds like they're going to be doing more. The director came out and said that he has outlines for a 5th and 6th game. So I'm excited. I'm excited for more. Definitely had a great time though playing it. It probably ranks in my top 5 of games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. High praise.
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
Don't know.
You don't have a time count?
They
on
didn't.
it?
They didn't give you a time count.
Probably days.
Yeah.
Like, it's a long game, folks. And
Yeah.
he of course has to collect all the shit.
Yeah. And
So-
I'm not done with that yet.
Oh man. Well, God of War probably will be game of the year, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know what much else that's going to compete with it this year, but yeah, it's a big one, and I'm glad that you finally finished it.
Yeah.
And you can move on to bigger and better things, or at least different things. And yeah, good to hear that it's lived up to your expectation. What about Batman the Telltale series? They had new episodes drop, and you've played through those?
Yeah, the final episode, the 5th episode, Enemy Within is the whole title. So yeah, it wraps everything up. You get into the whole Joker thing, the whole Joker storyline. Now he's full Joker. And there's some really interesting decisions you have to make as Bruce Wayne and or Batman. It definitely ramps up in terms of intensity with it. It's again, this is like it's kind of like playing a movie or TV episode. Quite a bit of fun in that aspect. I mean, there's definitely not a lot of action. There's some quick time events or whatever, but you definitely see the choices you make impact kind of where the story goes. And I always love at the end, you can see what other people chose. So it's always fun to see if you were a dick or if you made the right choice. So
I'm willing to bet I know which one you were.
I always am in the minority. I always choose the opposite of what other people do.
Yeah, contrarian.
Yeah.
Who knew? I thought I was the contrarian of us. Well, that's going to be it for video games. It sounds like a couple of recommends.
Yeah,
If you get a chance, if you're on PlayStation, definitely pick up God of War if you haven't yet. It seems like everybody probably has. But if the Batman Telltale series is more your speed, then pick that one up and play through both. And, of course, let Seth know what you thought at Seth O. Otter at SoCo Show Pod.
Don't do it.
Don't, okay,
I don't want to talk to
never
you.
mind. He doesn't want to talk to any of you. Forget it. Let's move on and talk some sports.
Sports.
And boom goes the dynamite.
It's a weird time of year right now because there's no hockey, no basketball, no football, and baseball is about to go into the All-Star break in a couple weeks. So not a lot going on in the sports world, but it seems like the NFL never stops with its news, at least. Of course, most people are going to be aware of the kneeling controversy that has been going on for the past couple seasons in the NFL. You don't know about this?
No.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, Colin Kaepernick, who was a quarterback for the 49ers at the time, started kneeling during the national anthem before games. And it was a protest against racial inequalities in the country, and specifically police brutality. And so over the past couple of years, of course, the protests have grown. Several more players have started kneeling. Our president, the Donald, has...
Kneeled?
He has not kneeled.
Oh, okay.
Never. He would never kneel. And... he came out and said he was pissed about it. He wants us to fire those sons of bitches. You're fired, like he says. And, yeah, so that's been it up to now. Kaepernick and one other player have also now filed grievances against the NFL, alleging that they're being blackballed because of their protests.
Gross.
So, yeah, you don't want to get blackballed. That hurts. And so that's been...
blue-balled is what I was thinking of.
That's been going on up till now. And... the NFL came out and made a new rule that says that players can't kneel anymore on the field with penalty of fines. But they do have the option to stay in the locker room and not be seen during the national anthem. So that was the NFL solution. The NFL Players Association has now come out and says that ain't cool. And they say that goes against the collective bargaining agreement and that they're going to fight it. And that they're going to try to get this rule stricken from, I guess, the book of rules, the rule book, as it were. Which is something that I assumed would happen. It's the NFLPA's, NFL Players Association's job to stand up for the rights of its players. Let me ask you this: what do you think of? Is this what you expected? Did you expect the PA to come out and fight this, or what do you think is going to come of this?
I didn't really have any thoughts about it. I think it's stupid, just that it's a thing. But yeah, I mean. I hope they win. Like it's just dumb. It's dumb all around, especially that because the president of the United States had influence over a sport. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and we're gonna have a long enough show. I don't want to get on my soapbox about it today. I will be in favor of the NFLPA in this. I think they should be allowed to protest if they want. A lot of people come out and they say, they have a job just like everybody else has a job, and they should be, beholden to the consequences of behaving incorrectly at that job. I think it's silly to not think that NFL players are different than accountants. But I don't know. We'll see. And I will comfortably say that I hope the NFLPA gets this rule revoked. And I think that the players should be allowed to protest peacefully, of course, if they want to. So we'll see what comes of that. I'm sure that will be the news all summer. The NFL doesn't like being out of the news cycle. So we will keep you posted on that as long as you come back and listen to the sports section every week. From there, let's get into the meat and potatoes, and we're going to start in TV.
That's what she said.
TV.
So we're going to talk about a couple shows, and I'm going to go first here. I stumbled upon on Netflix this last weekend a series called Explained, and I know you had seen it on your Netflix ads, but hadn't clicked. So Explained is something I really enjoy. It's a documentary series, and so it's about half-an-hour documentaries. There's 6 or 7 episodes right now. The nice thing is episodes come out every Wednesday. So it's continuously coming out, so you can't binge the whole thing all at once like I was going to. But there's a lot of really interesting topics on Explained. There's one about designer babies. There's one about the racial wealth gap, which is really interesting. I think that was episode 1. There's one about life in space. There's one about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. There's one about the stock market. So it's all really interesting topics that most people should be probably conversationally competent in. And the show really just does that. It's a half an hour. It's pretty quick. They're not trying to make you an expert in anything. So it's something that you can easily pop on and just learn a couple little factoids about whatever topic of the week it is. So I would highly recommend Explained, especially if you're a documentary fan, but even if you're casually into documentaries and you don't watch many of them, then definitely check out Explained. Lots of good episodes, and of course more to come each week. I know you're a little bit of a documentary fan.
A little bit.
And I don't know that you've checked out Explained. I would recommend it to you. I think there's a couple in there that you'd find interesting. Yeah. So, I try my best to review TV. Everybody knows that. But I'm just not... It's just not my place. I'm sitting next to one of the country's most well-regarded TV critics.
It's true.
And not just because
5 stars.
Not just because of his hair and outfits, but because of his expert knowledge of all things television. One of the things we talked about, I think, back on episode 1 was this app TV Time. How much total TV are you up to now?
Oh God,
do you have an idea?
I'd have to look it up.
It's a long freaking time, folks. And while he's looking that up, TV Time, maybe we can put something up here or a link down below. It's an app where you can track what you're watching on TV so you don't miss your shows. It's my opinion that if you are forgetting your shows, you're watching too many of them. But if you are like Seth and watch everything, then you may enjoy watching or using the app TV Time. So what is your total television time spent up to now?
4 months, 25 days, and 6 hours.
That is a long freaking time. That's longer than most of my relationships. So you're more committed to TV than than some people are to other people. And some might
committed.
say that that's not cool, but I think it's awesome. And I think that our listeners and this week watchers appreciate how much TV you watch, because every week, almost every week, we get to have a segment called Seth's TV Corner.
That's in my TV corner.
Seth, I want to blow you.
Don't mouth that at me.
You mouthed the other one.
What one?
You were doing the dance to the Gary Busey stuff, and you were doing the farts.
Yeah, but you were...
We're supposed to dance to the sound. There's a whole point of doing video.
I gotta leave.
No, whatever, man. What are you reviewing for us this week?
All right. So yes, TV Corner time.
Da-da-da-da-da.
So Glow season 2, which is the Alison Brie stars as it takes place in the 80s, women's wrestling show based off the true story, which I noticed on Netflix. There's actually a doc about the real people. Haven't checked it out yet, but I definitely want to, because it's really interesting. But Glow season 2 picks up where the first one left off. They had done their show, and now are kind of gaining a little bit of popularity, and so they're kind of dealing with a little bit of that. We have Alison Brie's character is Ruth. She's also Zoya the Destroyer. She's Russian. She's clearly the most creative, the most dedicated person there, but she isn't given the same opportunities because she's not kind of like the star. She's not she's the main villain.
Okay.
But I can't remember. The wrestler's name is Liberty Bell. I can't remember the Debbie is the character's name. That's not the Glow person. She's kind of taken over as the star. She eventually becomes kind of like a producer role, and she's definitely, she's really the villain of the show, even though Alison Brie plays the heel or villain in Glow. But so there's some conflict there, which is really good. Really, the show is a good mix of drama and comedy. One of the better mixes of drama and comedy that I've seen on TV. Alison Brie, she's really good at her comedy in general, but she's able to show off her drama chops in this one, which is really cool to see. And I don't know if she does any chops as a wrestler, but that could have been a pun.
That's a wrestling pun.
The supporting cast is really, really good too. They really allowed them to expand what their stories were in the first season, because the first season a lot of introduction and things like that, whereas this season expanded upon all of them and gave them all a story, which added a lot to the show. Some of my favorite parts really were the dynamic between Ruth and Debbie, as well as Mark Maron's character Sam. He's like the director of the show, the showrunner, and he goes through an arc this season, which he didn't last season. He's pretty much the same. This season he goes through some changes, which is really was good to see. I didn't know Mark Maron had acting chops, which he does. So, but his relationship with Ruth changed throughout the season too, which was awesome. I don't really have a lot of negatives. The show maybe kind of hit a few lines in terms of the women's treatment type stuff, but that's what happened in the 80s, so it's not really it made sense. Might have been uncomfortable, but it made sense. So as a whole, even if you're not a wrestling fan, I would definitely recommend Glow. It's like I said, good mix of drama and comedy. You don't need to know anything about wrestling to enjoy the show, because it's way more about the people than it is the wrestling and even the characters, and you'll learn stuff about wrestling throughout the show. So, yeah, definitely a high recommend. Going to the point system, you should put up some things.
Should we get some graphics here?
Yeah.
We'll get some graphics in there.
Glow season 2 for my new rating system gets 4.6 rails of cocaine out of 5.
4.6 rails of cocaine.
There's a lot of cocaine in the season, so
that's a pretty good night in Vegas.
Yeah.
4.6 rails of coke. That's a pretty good rating for Glow. Obviously, it's a show that you enjoy and that you think everyone should watch on Netflix, of course. For those who don't know, so most of you can watch it
like
right
everything
now.
is right now.
Yeah, half an hour show.
10 episodes, I think. So it's a pretty quick watch. I would have given probably the season 1 like 4.4 So it's an improvement.
You like season 2 better a little
Yeah.
bit? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Allison Brie, of course, we're big fans from Community. You may have seen her in some other stuff. She can get it. So if you needed a reason to watch Glow, let her be it. Glow, GLOW, of course, stands for Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Wieners.
And it gets a big ol' recommendation and a 4.6 Rails of Coke this week in the TV corner.
That's in my TV corner.
Seth, I want to blow you.
Get the hell out of here.
I won't do it again. Don't worry. That's going to do it for TV this week. Let's wrap it up where we're going to spend a little bit of time, as usual, and that's movies.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
Movies.
So before we jump into movies, I want to give a quick shout out to our good buddy. It's, of course,
at Jared Buckendahl.
And if you don't know, well, you should know because we're posting this on his YouTube page.
Yeah.
So you should be well aware of how to get to
at Jared Buckendahl
to check out all of our episodes of The Ride Home, all of the episodes of this podcast, all of Jared's movie reviews, all of his trailer reactions, all of his all of his JB classics, which are hilarious. He recently did Jurassic Park, which was another great addition to that series.
At Jared Buckendahl.
You can't touch the sound. The soundboard is my thing. And so we just want to give a big shout out to Jared. It was kind of because of Jared that we started doing this. So we owe him a lot, and obviously he has us post on his channel, and we try to put out each other's material as much as we can. We're gonna have Jared on the show in a couple weeks.
Spoilers,
which we're very excited about. I don't fucking care if we spoil that.
Why?
So
Is he not
thank
special
you,
enough?
Jared. Shut up. We're trying to be nice. Thank you, Jared, for all that you do for the show. We really appreciate it. And Jared has a message for us that we've been saving for here. We haven't seen
it yet.
Yeah, so hopefully it's showing right here. But here it is.
What's up, SoCo Show host with Squirrel Nuts or Raisin Nuts? I don't know what your name is right now. But Seth, you guys, congratulations on 1 year, 52 episodes. Hey, that takes commitment. That's awesome. You know what? To many more episodes, many more Octoversaries, many more The Ride Homes, and many more shenanigans with those sounders. Congratulations, guys.
Oh, that's really
that was
Jared.
nice.
Thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. And yeah, of course, way more Octoversaries to come. Way more hilarious sounders. Like I said, we've got the editor working overtime, especially this week. So, yeah, thank you to Jared. And if you don't already subscribe, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button that is probably somewhere on the screen right now. Or it'll be on the end page. Or actually just down below. Hit your subscribe, hit your notifications so that you're getting all of Jared's videos as well as all of ours. We'll end it there. But Jared, you get a big SoCo thumbs up from both of us.
At Jared Buckendahl.
There you go. So thank you to Jared. Let's jump into some movie stuff. We're going to talk some news, and then we've got a couple of reviews as well. So a lot of news in here, and we're going to start with a franchise that we're big fans of, Seth.
What is that?
I put it here. I put it here so you can see. It's all right. It's all right here, guys. You can just read it if you want. You just.
I was gonna say
I alley-ooped it for you, and you just went.
I was gonna say The Land Before Time, but
I don't care about The Land Before
Time. I love The Land Before Time. They're doing a 12th movie. I don't know if they are. Or not.
There's no land. Seth, read the goddamn board every week. This is what I.
John Wick Teetle. We normally don't do itineraries or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
We used to, and then we stopped.
Yeah, because we're an organic show, not this weird...
Well, forgive me for thinking that it would be easier if we knew what we were going to talk about. I was hoping to save the editor a little bit of time.
No, you got to keep this in. All right.
Will you fucking tell us what the news is?
You got to keep this in. All right. Yeah, one of our favorite franchises we've talked about quite a bit on the show, apt being our 52nd episode.
Did you say apt?
At Jared Buckendahl.
No, apt.
Apt. Oh, with a P.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's like what you download on your phone. So yes, we talked about it a lot. We might even it wasn't out yet. It's already been out. But anyway, John Wick 3 has a subtitle, not Chapter 3 like Chapter 2.
Love subtitles. Here we go.
John Wick 3: Parabellum.
Parabellum.
Mm-hmm.
But what does that mean?
It's a punk rock band that's headed by Haley Williams.
Okay. No. That's Paramore. That's Paramore. I would watch John Wick: Paramore. Though. That'd be fucking awesome. He just smokes Haley Williams. What?
John Wick : Haley Williams.
It's.
Are you? What about her colon? Do you want John Wick to do?
What does Parabellum actually mean?
Prepare for war.
Prepare for war. If you've seen the end of John Wick 2, you know that he's probably pretty ready for war.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's got a bounty. An excommunicado.
Excommunicado. A lot of folks coming after his head, but I don't think they're going to get it.
Probably not.
I don't think they're going to get it.
They're going to get some big old guns.
So John Wick Parabellum's coming out. Is it next May?
I don't know.
It's sometime in 2019. It's lucky that I don't have a computer in front of me that tells me everything that I'm.
No, I say we leave it up to the listeners to look it up.
John Wick 3. What's John Wick 3's release?
2019.
May 17, 2019. I was right. Boom.
Chad Stileski, once again.
I'm going to remember it's Chad Stileski for when we do the rectal exam for that month. So John Wick 3 Parabellum. Keep a lookout for that next May. One of our favorite series. So we'll talk all the news that comes up between now and then. One of my favorite, probably my favorite franchise in terms of movies is, of course, Star Wars.
Oh, I thought it was Land Before Time again.
Star Wars 9 is dropping in December of 2019. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like we've gotten a little bit more of a look at who is going to be in it.
We did. One actress, kind of a surprise-ish, even though she worked with J.J. Abrams on a TV show. Kerry Russell from The Americans. Which is a show, now that I'm kind of in a break, I thought about going into, but
I think I've heard really good things.
Yeah, it's always been nominated for Emmys, and she's.
Do you guys watch Americans? Let us know what you think.
There's not anyone there right now.
I know. They'll be on the other side of the camera.
You got like real personal with it, like.
Yeah, I got right in its face. But, sorry guys if I scared you. Tell us what you think of The Americans if you watch it.
There's still no one there. Kerry Russell, yes, will be in the next Star Wars. There's been rumors of her with bunch of different characters. One of which is potentially Rey's mother. So that'd be interesting. Also, though, the casting line is that she has to do a lot of action. She's gonna be involved in a lot of action scenes.
Okay.
So she's used to that with Americans. So
she also appeared in Mission Impossible 3.
That's what it was. J.J. Abrams directed that,
mm-hmm.
and that's where their connection.
One of my favorites, I would say. behind Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation, it's Mission Impossible 3 for me.
I've heard that's everyone's least favorite.
I don't care what everyone thinks. Fuck them. They're not as big a Mission Impossible fans as me. I'll tell you that right goddamn now.
I don't know.
Kerry Russell's going to be in Star Wars 9. I'm excited about that. She's
9.
Great. She'll be cool. We'll find out who she's playing later. I hope it's not Rey's mom, but we'll see. And that's an argument for another day. Another movie that I would say we're equally as excited about.
Well, you've also forgot the other bit of casting.
Oh, is there another bit of casting?
Yeah, we talked about it.
We didn't.
Yeah.
Well, tell me the other bit of casting.
One man who we thought was dead, but is still alive.
Okay, we did talk about this.
So yes, the resurrected Billy T. Williams will be reprising his role as Lando Calrissian, a.k.a. Donald Glover, in this next movie.
Yep. It's going to be cool. I'm really interested to see if Billy D is going to be able to replicate Donald Glover's performance. It's a really hard character to kind of get into, so we'll see if Billy D's got the chops to do it. I'm not super confident in him. I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff, but no, we'll see. I'm excited about this. Very excited to have Lando back in the fold. Kind of upset that I know about it.
Yeah, you would have known about it regardless.
Yeah, I would have known about it. He's probably going to be in the trailer. Mm-hmm. It's going to be all over the news, but I will definitely be looking forward to the moment we see Lando on screen again. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a pleasant surprise, especially because you thought Billy D. Williams was dead.
R.I.P. Billy D.
R.I.P. Billy D. That goes back to episode...
It's an early one.
Like 20-something? It was the first time we had Jared on.
Yeah, over the phone. We had him on in person.
That's right. We had Jared on the phone. It was the last episode of 2017 where we had hashtag RIP Billy D. So some of you guys might remember that. He is alive and well, and he's going to be in Star Wars 9.
Yeah.
Well, Star Wars is great, but I even more than Star Wars, I love Mortal Kombat.
Do you?
Yeah. And we, in a very exciting bit of news, are going to get another Mortal Kombat movie.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it is in the works. It is under, not in production yet, but in pre-production. And one exciting thing about this iteration is that James Wan is going to be involved. He is a producer. Been involved in a number of really great stuff, especially lately. The Conjuring universe is a lot of James Wan. He was involved in Saw, the early parts of Saw when it was still good, and right now he's working on like Aquaman and some other stuff. So he's a busy man. So we'll see how involved he is with the actual making of Mortal Kombat. But Mortal Kombat for me, Seth, is something that has so many interesting characters in terms of like how their action can be shot. I think this has the potential to be a really cool, just like nasty, violent fucking movie. The old Mortal Kombat movies didn't really do it for me because I watched them a lot later on when the effects were better.
Yeah.
Is Mortal Kombat something that you're going to get excited for and come out for?
Maybe. I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat player, but it could be cool. James Wan is definitely creative, and a lot of people consider the first Mortal Kombat as the best video game movie ever made.
Is that right?
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm definitely not opposed to it.
Yeah, I think it has potential. It has potential to be very entertaining. At least it's probably not going to win any Oscars or anything like that. But we do have a new character to the Mortal Kombat universe who's going to act as the protagonist. He's a guy who's like a boxer, I think, and he's got like a robot arm. And so a brand new character is going to be the star of the movie, but all of your favorites are going to be back. Raiden, by the way, the lightning god, he's going to be 14 in this, which is different. I think he usually plays older. So we'll see. We'll see a lot. I mean, this is so early. We don't really know much else about it, but I'm very enheartened by the fact that James Wan is involved.
Yeah.
So we'll see how good that ends up being. Another movie that is one of those that could be very good, could be terrible. I'm talking, of course, about the Spawn reboot.
Spawn.
That is upcoming, and we know a little bit more about that cast as well.
Yeah, we got... we already have Jamie Foxx. And
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and this is directed by Todd McFarlane. So this is his first directing. So he's got some good talent, but they added Jeremy Renner to the cast. So he's going to be basically playing the kind of the protagonist, because Spawn is kind of an antagonist, but he's also a hero, anti-hero kind of thing. So sounds like Jeremy Renner will be kind of the opposite of Spawn in this instance.
Well, you tell me that Jamie Foxx is going to square off with Jeremy Renner, and I'm there. I was already in for Spawn, but now that I know about the cast, I'm in for that. It's going to be tight. Do we know when Spawn's coming out?
I don't think
It's not
so.
for a while yet.
Yeah.
I don't think they've even started shooting. So keep your eye out for Spawn. We'll keep you updated. But yeah, I'm very excited about it. Jeremy Renner, that's big news. Guy's blowing up lately.
Yeah.
And some good stuff, too. Not just in a lot of stuff, but in good stuff, which is one of the things. Wind River. If you haven't seen Wind River yet, guys, I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix right now. Go watch Wind River, this one here. Super good. Go check it out. It's got Jeremy Renner in it. Also Elizabeth Olsen, who is a fellow Avenger. Anyway, I'm ranting.
Yeah.
Another superhero movie is bringing us news. I'm talking about, of course, the movie that they probably shouldn't make, in my opinion, but it's part of the DC universe. It's Birds of Prey. We have news out of that camp.
Yeah, they're going to start production in January. They talked about kind of a bunch of different scripts Harley Quinn would be in, and sounds like this is the decision. So out of the ones they talked about, I think this one makes the most sense, being able to introduce new characters and things like that. So
Birds of Prey, this is Batgirl. Who else?
I think Black Canary.
Canary.
And Harley Quinn, which is not normally the case. It's different, but...
Probably because Harley Quinn's not a bird.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, one of the big Halloween costumes from a couple of years ago was Harley Quinn, so I'm sure we'll get some more of that. Almost nobody looks good in that costume. Like, probably you don't look good in that costume if you're wearing it. Most people don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's really hard to look like Margot Robbie. I was going to do it, and...
You decided on Spider-Man.
I couldn't get in the costume, so... No, it was last Halloween, so we did David Pumpkins.
That's true.
Instead, so... yeah, in myself included, don't wear Harley Quinn outfits, people. It's not a good look. I'm excited. Speaking of my boy Spider-Man, we got a little bit of casting news from Spider-Man Far From Home, which, if you don't know yet, is the title of next summer's new Spider-Man movie. You might be saying, new Spider-Man movie? But I just saw Infinity War, and yeah, of course, shit's going to happen that's going to make it possible for a Spider-Man movie to happen. So,
and speaking of sorry to interrupt that, but speaking of so the whole Thanos snap and everything, I was in Target today, and they were showing, because they announced today that the Blu-ray comes out August 14th, and so they showed a trailer or whatever for it, and in the trailer, like, the Marvel Studios logo, it dusts. It does the dust in the thing, and then they snap several times in the trailer too. It's like, so if you haven't seen it,
they just think everybody saw it. I hope you've seen it, folks, because no one gives a shit about spoilers anymore.
It is the same exact dusting as all the characters do.
Huh.
Thought that was kind of weird.
Well, hope you've seen Infinity War, folks, because honestly, I think the whole world is done not talking about it. So that Blu-ray is going to come out in August, what'd you say, 14th?
I think August 14th. I don't know, that might not be the exact date, but it's August. It comes out in digital in July.
There you go. Well, we're going to have a copy of that, I'm sure, on the Ultra Blu-ray 4K. So, ladies, if you want to come watch Infinity War with Seth and I, then come on over. Right? That's why we started the show, right? To get chicks?
Yeah.
Back to Spider-Man. One of my favorite, not one of my favorite actors, but a guy that I really enjoy seeing and stuff is J.B. Smoove.
He was in Uncle Drew.
He was in Uncle Drew. He was hilarious in Uncle Drew. He's this guy, if you don't know. You probably recognize him from something. I'm pointing at you gotta remember. It's... And so J.B. Smoove is going to be in Spider-Man Far From Home, which... it would probably be sort of a bit character just for comedy. I'm excited about this. I think he definitely possesses the ability to sort of pop in, say some funny shit, and then pop back out. Mm-hmm. So I think this is cool. Honestly, anything Spider-Man related is going to make it onto the show. This isn't a huge wave-making piece of news. But...
What would you think if he played J. Jonah Jameson?
Ooh. It's really hard to separate that role from J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, but
he's
you're
so
going to have
to.
to.
But I could get into that. I could get into J.K.
I think it'd be cool.
I could see him. I want pictures of Spider-Man. Like, I could definitely see him, and the way he talks is so hilarious. And I could get into that. Yeah, I could get into that for sure. So here's J.B. Smoove for J. Jonah Jameson. That's our plug. Maybe we'll hashtag that or something. So that is it for news. We're gonna review a few things. But before we do, I have to issue an apology to a movie that we have talked about at length, and it's a movie that I have gone on record as hating. It was the movie that caused me to lose the first iteration of the new release rectal exam, and it's a movie that I have wholeheartedly disagreed with since we started this show. The movie, of course, is Jurassic World, starring Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, I think is the other star. And I recently watched that movie, and Seth, I liked it. I liked Jurassic World, and I didn't want to. I didn't think I would, but I watched it, and I had fun. And so to all of the Jurassic World fans out there, to the people who made it, to Chris Pratt, I know you're watching. I'm sorry for shitting on your movie, because it ended up being pretty cool. And I haven't seen the sequel yet, but I think I'm probably going to go. So they're going to get some of my money.
Gross.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just like how you're coming around on Melissa McCarthy when she comes out with the Puppets movie. So we will... we'll see how good the sequel is, but I'll leave it just at that. I watched Jurassic World, and I liked it, and I'm not going to shit on it anymore. So, that's it. Thank you. I feel like a big man, because I'm able to admit when I'm wrong, is the thing. Mm-hmm. And I was wrong this time. So, now you need to watch Jurassic World, Seth.
No thanks.
And let us know what you think of it. Keep an eye out for Seth's review of Jurassic World next week. He'll tell you all about it himself. I don't want to spoil anything for that. So, let's move on from Jurassic World, please. And I want to talk about a movie I watched last night, a couple nights ago, and it's going to be this week's Retro Recommend.
I'ma take it back in time.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Retro Recommend, if you're not aware, is just like what it sounds. We're recommending shit that people probably haven't seen in a long time. And this week's version of the Retro Recommend is the movie Election, which stars Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick. And
she has her spoon in this one.
She does have her. It's when she still had it.
Okay.
Before she became Reese without her spoon.
Okay.
And so she's got the spoon. She is a high school girl, and she is kind of one of those snot-nosed girls who like is like really a
snot-nosed girl.
Yeah, that's they got snot in their nose, and she is like the teacher's pet, overachiever kind of girl. And Matthew Broderick is a teacher, and he doesn't like her for his own reasons. And she starts running for class president. And Matthew Broderick decides that he doesn't want her to win class president. And so the movie is about kind of the two of them and everything that unfolds throughout this election. And it's a pretty entertaining watch. It was a big recommend to me on another podcast that I listened to. And so I finally was able to pull it up. It's on Hulu. For those of you who have that, you can go on there and watch it. But it's just a solid movie. It's under 2 hours. It's got some really good comedy bits. It's got some interesting drama. It's really fun to see these actors so much younger than they are now, especially Reese Witherspoon playing a teenager. It's strange because I found out later that she can get it. But she looks a little young in this.
Her spoon?
Yeah.
She can get her spoon.
Well, she lost her spoon. Now she's Reese without her spoon. But at the time, when I was watching this, I was like, I don't know if I can think Reese Witherspoon can get it because she might have been too young. Anyway, it's one of those things. But now Reese Witherspoon can absolutely
that
get
old
it.
chestnut.
That old who hasn't been there, right? So watch Election is the headline here. It's a good one.
Oh,
It's
you
on
were
Hulu.
saying election.
Yeah, with an L. Election.
No R.
Yeah, that's why. No R. This isn't part of the Rip Torn game at all. So check out Election. I'll leave the rest of it up to you. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but go check out Election. It's this week's Retro Recommend.
I'ma take it back in time.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
No, we do not need roads for the Retro Recommend because we're flying a DeLorean. And let's move to some more recent stuff. Seth, you've watched a couple things recently. Why don't you tell the folks at home what we're talking about?
Couple docs. I watched the Netflix show Explained. Real good series. No, watched a couple of documentaries. One on HBO. You can watch right now for free if you have HBO. I guess $14.99.
Yeah. HBO.
Yeah, did you actually? Side note. So apparently Time Warner owned HBO. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
And the new owners of Time Warner, which is AT&T, I think, came in and said that they want to basically, because HBO releases a little amount of really good stuff, and they want to be like Netflix instead.
Oh God.
And they want to release a lot of stuff, which means they're going to release a lot of
bad stuff.
I hope that's not the case, but we'll see what happens. He said he wanted to change stuff, so hopefully the quality stays the same. Speaking of quality,
they better not fuck with the shows that are already on there.
Yeah.
That will piss me off. Some of my favorite shows are on HBO. If you don't have HBO, people, just pay for it and watch it because it's fantastic. Everything on there is excellent. Sorry, go on.
You can pay for it and not watch it.
Well, yeah, if you want to. Or you can just light 20s on fire if you want to.
So one thing that is very good, I watched a documentary. I watched two documentaries. One on HBO, the Andre the Giant documentary, which one I've been meaning to watch for a couple months now. I think it came out in May. But Andre the Giant, for those who don't know, he is a giant. His name's Andre.
Big man.
Reminded me of Burt Reynolds from SNL.
With the big hat?
Yeah.
Big guy, Andre. Showing his gum, right?
Yeah.
It's a big hat. It's fine.
Yeah, Andre the Giant, most people know who he is. He, especially if you watch the documentary, you'll find out he was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, wrestling star up until Hulk Hogan. But he was a professional wrestler. He was like 7'4", like 600 pounds. Also transitioned into movies in the
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, which has Robin Wright from House of Cards in it.
Yeah.
And Billy Crystal. And it's directed by Rob Reiner. I didn't know all those things.
It also has Carrie Elways. Where are you pulling this from?
From the documentary. They interviewed all of them.
Oh, okay. I was like, why do you know those?
So, Yeah, the documentary for me as a big wrestling fan was really interesting. I've seen a few Andre the Giant matches, but like the WrestleMania 3 match, which a lot of people know about against Hulk Hogan, but knowing like seeing him and his time growing up, he grew up in France, and just seeing like how he got into wrestling, and his wrestling nickname was it's like Jean the Fairy. Like that it's a French lore about a fairy, and that was his wrestling name to start. But like seeing how he came up into it, he was, if you've seen pictures of him, especially when he's been really famous, he's like this, he's super tall, but he's also kind of like bigger in the belly and stuff. He was a ripped dude. When he was like 16, he was ripped, and he was almost 7 foot, and he was in the wrestling ring doing stuff that people who are like 6'5" do. Like he was doing kind of going off the ropes and doing clotheslines and leg locks, and then later in his career he could barely throw a punch.
Yeah.
Anyway, off the wrestling stuff, really interesting story though as a whole. Seeing where he came from in France and getting over to the United States and growing up in the wrestling world at that time was super interesting. And then getting to hear from all the people he worked with in wrestling and the movies, like I mentioned, all those people from Princess Bride. I keep wanting to say Princess Diaries. They were all in it. I think it helps being a wrestling fan to see this. I would recommend this for any wrestling fan. But even if you're not a wrestling fan, if you want to just hear about an interesting person, definitely check it out. Because he's super unique. There's not anyone ever like him. And hearing his stories about how much he would drink, he'd drink Ric Flair under the table, which is impossible. He incredible person and incredible story. I was engrossed for the hour and a half it is, so definitely check it out if you just want to hear a cool, interesting story.
There you go. Andre the Giant gets a recommend, especially if you're a wrestling fan. HBO is where you can check that
Hobo.
out. Pay for it, use it.
Don't use it.
What's next?
The second thing is something you'd have to pay for in a theater if it's near you. I know Jared checked this one out. I don't think he did a review for it, but he did.
Jared Buckendahl.
He did do Stardust from it. We talked about it last week. But yes, we kind of teased it last week that I'd be going to see Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Hold on, should we cut in glassy-eyed Jared right here?
That's all right.
Glassy-eyed Jared.
Oh my god. I tried stopping it.
Hey, buddy.
So Won't You Be My Neighbor, which of course is the Mr. Rogers documentary. It's a very critically praised film. I think it's at 99 Rotten Tomatoes. So a lot of people loved this movie, and I can be added to that. It really just tells the story. You get a bit of his life prior, but it tells more of the story about the show. The Mr. Rogers Neighborhood. A show I was a huge fan of when I was a kid. I watched it on PBS. I watched a lot of PBS for some reason. I had cable. I had all the channels.
It's good TV, man.
Whatever reason, I watched PBS. And I had Nintendo. Whatever.
Nintendo sucks. So.
You suck. You had Sega, didn't you?
No, I had a PlayStation.
Well, Nintendo was out before.
Oh, well, I wasn't allowed to play video games then.
Yeah, because you suck.
Speaking of Nintendo... Should we update folks on the Mario Kart rankings?
I'm in the middle of a review here.
I think this is a nice aside.
Fred Rogers was a pretty cool person.
I'm gonna put the scores up here.
You better not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna delete the video.
I'm gonna tell the editor to put the scores up.
All right, I'm stopping the video. So, yes, the actual documentary, Won't You Be My Neighbor, like I said, talks really about kind of the start to the end of the show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And then it does give a ton of insight into him, though, because he was the whole thing. I mean, he was of course the beginning of the show, meeting him and everything, and then he was all the voices and all the puppets and everything. Incredible for its time, in terms of just like how smart he was with TV. If he would have had control of all of TV, I mean, I think we definitely have not as good TV on the air, but I think what we would have gotten would have actually made a difference with people, because that's what he cared about, was people, specifically kids, of course. But seeing how he cared for the kids and what he did with the TV to influence the kids was really cool to see. So there were a few things there were a few things about him personally, like I mentioned. A lot of rumors that happened about him at his time in his life were mentioned. I don't want to spoil anything because it kind of comes out of nowhere in the documentary, but it's also really funny, and it's cool to know about him and what he thought. There's not a whole lot I can say. I mean, because the documentary does a really good job of diving into all this stuff in a lot of detail, and it's cool to learn about organically. So for anyone who's a fan of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood growing up, definitely check it out. If you just want to hear about a really, again, interesting person, but also someone who is a super good-natured person and someone who, if they're alive today, could make a difference still with the same values that they had in the 60s. You know, he's an incredible person, and so I would definitely recommend checking this out if you get a chance. It's not going to be around a lot of theaters, very limited run, but word of mouth is spreading. I mean, it's in the top 10. Documentaries normally aren't even in the top 10. It's in the top 10 right now for gross for a week, so box office for a week. So definitely, if it's near you, get out to the theater and see it. I didn't shed a tear. I definitely got a little emotional, but no tears shed. Still have not found my heart.
It has no soul, this man.
But it definitely makes you feel something. It absolutely makes you feel something. So 100% check it out. Can't recommend it enough. So
I'm excited. I wasn't a Mr. Rogers kid, to be honest. I didn't really watch it when I was growing up, but I am excited to check this one out. I hear such great things about him, and it sounds like it holds up. So I'm definitely going to check this one out. I do have to say, it was very hard to look serious while you were talking about all that, because I was looking at your fucking wig the whole time. and even though you're saying actual things, I was like, I can't take this guy seriously. So I was trying not to laugh that whole time. I think I pulled it off. Won't You Be My Neighbor, of course, is the name of that one. Go check it out in theaters now.
Maybe.
Well, hopefully it's in a theater near you, and check it out. So that's going to do it for movies this week, but we want to end the show with a little bit of fun. And
we never have fun.
We never have fun on the show, do we? And not a single time. So I want to talk a little bit about just the year that has been. And
hiccup for the first time on the show.
And I can't cut it out. I'm gonna try to cut it out. No one wants me to cut out things. When we asked like if I should cut out when I fuck up the sounders, everyone was like, "No, it's funny." So I guess the editor doesn't have to do anything. So, all right, that's cool. Good for the editor. Let's talk about the year that has been. It's been 52 episodes, of course. We've had a lot of fun stories. We've had a lot of fun gags. We've had a lot of fun sounders. And tell me, I'll ask you a couple of these. What has been of the year so far? What has been your favorite sounder that we've had? And you've got the soundboard here, so don't tell me, just play it.
Just play it? What if it's one of the ones from the original run of sounders?
Oh, I'll find it.
No, that's all right. God, there's so many options.
And they're all great, thanks to our editor. He's so good looking.
Get out of here. It's so hard for the recency bias not to do.
Well, don't say. Pick any of them.
I'm trying to think the one I laughed the most at. I think, you know what? It's the funny is great, but I think like the one that we just knew like right away. It's like, this is good.
That's what she said.
No, not that one.
You piece of shit. Did you do that on purpose?
I did not. It's this one.
Video games.
Whoa. Yeah.
That one was the one where we were like, okay, we got it. God damn it.
That took us like 10. You see, it's so easy to fuck up the soundboard.
It is.
Never give me shit about that again.
I'm still going to laugh. It's still funny.
I'm so happy that you fucked the soundboard up this time. I don't know. It's so hard to think about. I mean, we had so much fun
at Jared Buckendahl
when we had.
That made me laugh so hard.
We had a really good time with that one.
I didn't know you were doing that when you did it at Jared's when we recorded there.
That was a fun little surprise. We poked that one in a lot. So that was a really good one. Honestly, dude, I think that one of the first times we really went for it on a sounder, and it's something that we thought hard about whether or not we wanted to put our names on the podcast if we were going to use this sounder, and you already heard it today, but it's definitely my favorite.
That's in my TV corner.
Seth, I want to blow you.
Never doesn't make me laugh. Every single week it makes me laugh.
Yeah, we were like, it was like late when we came up with that one, and we didn't know what we were gonna do with it, and then just put a bunch of random, like, oh, let's put a Ric Flair woo in there. Yep. Like,
we were looking for footage.
No one puts baby in the corner.
No one put baby in the corner, and then we were gonna put a clip of Jules from Superbad yelling Seth, because there's a character named Seth, Jonah Hill's character, in Superbad. So when I tried to look that up, what I got was the Seth, I want to blow you quote. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, this must be in it. And then we made it, and we sat there and we were like, ugh.
It was still hilarious.
But I'm glad we kept it in. It's definitely one of my favorites. Other than the sounders, like we've done a lot of fun segments, and had just a lot of fun not planned moments. And I know that there's one that's at the top of your list for our best impromptu moment of the show.
Oh yeah, it's easily the moment I was asking you if there's other nicknames for New York City. Like, I was trying to think, like, what's the nickname? Or no, what was it? Was that it?
You were asking me about what do they call New York City, or something along those lines.
No, that's not what it was, because you just said fucking Big Apple for no reason. And it wasn't, because I wasn't asking you specifically. Now I'm blanking on it. Because Big Apple was not the answer I was looking for at all.
I don't remember what the answer. Well, let's see if we can find the clip. Let's quickly find. Let's see if we can find the clip here. Okay, so we found the clip, and what's going on right now is Seth is talking about the HBO show The Deuce, which stars James Franco and is set in New York City. So here's the clip that we're talking about.
I mean, and it takes place in New York, which apparently the New Yorkers called The Deuce in the 70s. Is it still called that? I don't know. Do you know?
Big Apple.
I'm not asking for other nicknames. I just want to know if it's The Deuce.
I don't know, man. Oh my god! I haven't heard that in a while. Oh my god. So that's us going on about the Big Apple. So
that's 22 episodes ago.
That was 22 episodes ago.
So long.
I was talking to the editor, and he was editing this episode on a plane and was laughing hysterically, crying and laughing on the plane, listening to this while he was editing. So he told me that it was very embarrassing. A bunch of people were looking at him weird. So yeah, that would probably be my favorite impromptu moment of the show. Would probably be the Big Apple. That was pretty hysterical. Same episode where we had corner cuties.
You just fucking yelled out the Big Apple.
I was really tired that day. I'm pretty sure we had to do it on a Sunday because I was getting ready to travel for work, and we had to do it on a Sunday, so I was probably hungover as hell. So
that was funny.
Yeah, it ended up being one of the best moments yet of the SoCo Show. Yeah, I think that God, there's so much.
I think we even had to cut stuff out because we just kept laughing.
Oh, there's 3 minutes of laugh. There was 3 minutes of laugh, and we had to cut it down. I think we cut it. It's still like a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of the best moments that we've had. I think as far as like segments go, and the different guests and things that we've had. I'm a big fan of the games that we're playing lately, but I think that my favorite sort of segment or guest is a recurring guest, and we heard from him earlier today. It's of course sports legend Lou Holtz.
Sports with Lou Holtz.
I'm pissed because I keep missing him. I'm never around when he is, but definitely one of the fun parts of the show that we really enjoy. getting to listen to, and getting to talk to Lou is always entertaining for us. So that's probably my favorite segment, I would say. Well, with that, let us know. Come on Twitter. It's at SoCo Show Pod. Of course, you have at Seth O. Ott and at _Cody
At
Michael.
Raisin Balls.
At Raisin Balls. I'm sorry. Get on the tweets and let us know what are your favorite sounders, your favorite moments of the year. What are your favorite games that we've played or segments that we've had? What's your favorite episode? Tell us if you have a favorite episode. We really want to hear feedback from all of you guys. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't thank all of you for listening to our 52 episodes now of the show. That's a lot of time. A lot of time to be spent listening to just a couple of jackasses yelling at each other about nerd stuff. So we definitely appreciate all the time that you take listening to the show and keeping up with us. So thank you so much. And you can reach out to us everywhere that you've come to know. SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. We're now on Android Podcast. So everywhere
Google
there. Google Podcast. You can catch us always on YouTube.
At Jared Buckendahl.
Where you can catch The Ride Home. You can catch all the episodes of the podcast. Any trailer reviews, movie reviews, and JB Classics, of course, done by the great Jared Buckendahl. So you're going to see all that on the YouTube. Look around here. If you're on the video version, look around. You're going to see all that stuff popping up in a second, or it's on the sides of your screen already. And also, before we take off, can't let you forget audibletrial.com/SoCo. Get out there, enjoy Audible for your first 30 days and your first audiobook for free. Oh my gosh, it's been a very fun episode 52, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say something cheesy. So, Seth, I'm very glad that we have been doing this. It's been a very, very fun experience to do, and cheers to many more episodes to come. I look forward to doing this with you every week, and I'm glad that we finally took the leap and just started fucking doing it, because it's been a hell of a lot of fun.
Doing the podcast, not
each other's. No one's talking. We're not talking about that.
I concur.
He concurs, people. That's why I love this man. He's so sweet to me all the time. We're going to end it there, folks. This has been episode 52 of the SoCo Show. Thank you for listening. Thank you even more for watching if you've been on YouTube. Hit the comments. Let us know. Do you like this video format? Is this something you want us to try and do more regularly? Maybe not every episode, but maybe on Octoversaries or something like that. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you're watching it, because we want to give the people what they want. So we hope you've enjoyed episode 52. We will, of course, be back next week with episode 53. But until then, this is Seth Ott. I'm Raisin Balls, and we will see you next week.
Bye.